So generations have different views about life that are important. So we also asked about mentorship. Very interesting, both our men and women said that mentors were critically important. And this was a very interesting finding because it was a very high percentage, not only in the corporate world, but also in the healthcare industry, but also in the business owners and in the franchise industry. So I thought that was a very interesting finding. However, the definition of mentorship has changed. So let me just pop back to our old Jack, right, at GE, right, hierarchical guy, giving Liz once again advice on how to be a mentor. Now, you got to remember, in his day, you followed one person who took you all the way to a top. And Liz in this segment says, no, I don't want you to be my mentor. Not only does she say it once, she says it twice. Let's take a look. So I asked the women, right? I asked leadership, what is mentorship to them? And I said, well, it's completely different. One person can't do it for you anymore, especially when you're moving to different roles and positions. You really want to have a personal board of advisors. And I would tell you it's go-to people. People that you go to for career advice, people that you go to for advice about finances, people who you go to for advice inside the firm, above you, to the right, to the left, and below you. We all need a personal board of advisors or go-to people to mentor us. We also talked about negotiating. Very interesting because it was conflicted findings. In my quantitative survey, people, both men and women, ranked men as excelling in negotiating. In the qualitative study, however, we found that women were overwhelmingly came up higher. Right, so it's very interesting that why, if you're filling out a survey on negotiating, do you check men higher? But then when I sit down and interview you about negotiating skills, you rate women higher. So I figured it was something about the word negotiating. I think when people read that word negotiating, that something jumps into their head. So I went back out and asked people, if I say the word negotiating to you, what do you think of? And actually they said, aggressive, win-lose. They started talking about haggling over cars or going to flea market, which was a very connotative, more of a masculine kind of activity. So I said, oh, you mean like real aggressive, something like this? I found that was probably why we had conflicting results. But what women said is actually women are great negotiators. They just don't always like to negotiate for themselves, particularly for salary and promotion. And, you know, this is very interesting. A TV producer actually said to me, Tracy, this clip from Grey's Anatomy, I didn't even realize Grey's Anatomy was still on, because it really resonated with me, because they were interviewing me on TV about negotiating. What were some tips and pointers for anyone who's negotiating for promotion or salary inside and outside the firm? And as I started to list the points, she sent me this clip and said, you just got to show it, because this is me. And I'll just give you the backdrop. So, you know, Bailey's running the shop now, all right? And you Grey's fans, if you know more than me, because I really haven't kept up with it. So, you know, Bailey's running the shop, and now Grey's getting a big promotion, the chief of general surgery or something. And she gets her package, her new contract package. And Grey, Meredith, is not happy with the number, the salary number. And she's really struggling, right? I think, which a lot of people say, should I go in and say, hey, there's something wrong with this, right? I'm worth more, or should I not? So this little clip sort of illustrates sort of the turmoil that people go through when they're going to ask for what they believe that they're worth. Let's take a look.